thank you so much for tuning in to my very first podcast. I'm super excited to do this. I have so many topics I want to discuss with you all. I do have a blog that I will still be doing every week. I will actually blog and then I will go more into my podcast. I go more in depth and discuss more things on my podcast that I put on my blog. I did start out doing this maybe about 10, 11 years ago. I started with Dangerous Diva Duo with my best friend Ariel. And then she started Sugar Babies. And the timeline might not be accurate because I'm not really sure. It's been so long. But after Sugar Babies, I started my own thing, Blog Talk Radio. And I had a lot of viewers. I had a lot. And I stopped it. And that was the stupidest thing I'd ever did. Because if I would have stuck by it, I would be very far by now. So this podcast will be talking about dating, but throughout my entire podcast archives, I'll be talking about, dating, men, sex, relationships, hot topics, being a single mother, all that. And so I'm really, really excited that you all are tuning in. Thank you so much. And if you have any suggestions, I'm so happy to hear them. So again, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy this very first podcast. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into it. Now, I was going to talk about dating, but I have, something on my mind and I need to vent. So I am going to do my first podcast on a story that recently happened. Now, this is a kind of a long story and I'm long-winded, but I don't want to have my first podcast be this long. So I'm just going to tell you about what happened. Now, before I continue, I am, starting to kind of date, but not at the same time. I'm not. It just kind of fell on my lap, and I'll tell you about that eventually. But right now, we're going to discuss, we're going to call him Jay, okay? Because I don't want to broadcast his name out there like that. Even if no one's listening, he still doesn't need to have his name out like that. So we're going to call him Jay. So Jay and I met in the summertime, beginning of summer. My little girl goes to Tennessee to visit her dad's family. And so I had a free time. And so I was like, you know what? I want to start dating just a little bit, see how it goes. I started on a dating app and I actually paid for it. So, I assumed I was like, me paying for this, it's going to be maybe a better type of crowd, type of men, more serious men looking for something special. So Jay and I started connecting online. It soon led to text and then social media. Or I think social media came first. Not really sure. Anyway, we were conversing a lot. Great conversation. And then he disappeared. AKA ghosted. Yeah, I got ghosted, whatever. It happened to the best of us. And so I was like, I didn't ask, why he stopped texting or anything because I was dating the other guys. So it wasn't like too big of a deal, but he was my favorite. Okay. Keyword favorite, and the reason why, because he had a great conversation. I've come to realize that a guy with great conversation is really attractive to me. I love a guy that can talk and doesn't say what you doing or, stupid, simple things that's just irrelevant. So I really like that. And he held conversation very well. So yeah, I was kind of bummed out, but whatever. But he started, maybe towards the middle of the summer, he started to start posting on my Facebook, our social media, commenting. He'll message me a few times on the Facebook. I didn't think twice about it because remember, he ghosted me. Okay. So anyways, I posted something last week and he had messaged me on my post and then sent me a message. The message was, can you give me your number again? And I was like, absolutely not. Okay, clearly you deleted my phone number. And because you ghosted me. So no. And he was like, no, let me explain. And he explained it. And I had the messages, but I'm not, I, clearly I believed him. So I gave my phone number. He texted me immediately as soon as I gave it to him, explained to me what it was. This is what he said. He said, technically, I didn't ghost you. I didn't know you that well. So I fell back a little bit and wanted to watch you on social media instead. I know, ladies. I know y'all like, girl, and you bought that. And the sad part, I did. Yeah. Uh huh. I know better than that. I know. I know. Spank, spank on my hand. I know better. But clearly, I believed him. And I don't know why. And I think I was vulnerable. And I'm going to tell you why I felt I was vulnerable at another time. But right now, it's all about Jay. So I was like, okay, he was like, I really like you. I like what you post. I like what you're doing. You're also a very attractive woman, being extra. And myself is like taking it all in, like, oh my God, yes, yes, you're so right. Thank you. Okay. So we're conversing heavy. Like he's not just doing WYD. I'm like WYDs. He is literally carrying great conversation, and conversation is my thing. So, around sidebar, we texted all day. Thursday, Friday. But on Friday, he stopped after five-ish before six, closer to six. Um, but I didn't, think about it too much at that time because it was Friday. I'm a mother doing things with your children. I didn't think twice. But I didn't hear from him. I even texted him, later on that night, like around 10 something. He was on Facebook. Hey, whatever. I'm kind of that. I didn't even say nothing. I was like, he didn't message me back. And then he didn't message me on Saturday either at all. But then he miraculously, like, reappeared yesterday morning because I had sent him a text and said, you know what? You are ghosting me again. I should have never forgiven you the first time. What I meant was I should have forgiven him, but still said, I'm straight. But I didn't. But I told him that he did it again. You wasted my time, but whatever. It's more you than me, but you're the best. He sends me a text. What are you talking about? It's nothing like that. All these excuses. And honestly, it wasn't really like an excuse. It was just kind of like I'm sorry. And then when he realized how serious I was, he was like, oh, I'm sorry. Let me explain. He told me that he was busy with his family or something like that. You read my messages because it said read. You looked at them. If you're busy, you could have been like, hey, I'm busy, something. I mean, you're just not that busy within, what, 18 hours? You could not even like we have iPhones. You couldn't like the fucking message. Like, you couldn't respond, like, oh, I'm with my family right now. Something? Like, nothing? Okay, whatever. Unacceptable. All right, so anyway, but he said he would do better. I clearly forgave him, you know? Um, so we're conversing because again, we have great conversation and I love the conversations we have. So and then he stopped texting, messaging me a little bit before 1 o'clock yesterday. Again, didn't think twice about it, you know, whatever. But around 9, I sent a picture to him. Wasn't even it was like a picture I would send to my family and friends. It was like a very just basic picture, Instagram picture like that. Um, he didn't respond. But let me tell you, let's get a little bit into this really quick. iPhones, people, iPhone users, when it's blue, that means I do iMessage and all that stuff. Green means either out of service, airplane mode, phone's turned off. I know there's probably other reasons or whatever, but those are only three that I care to even really discuss. It was green. So I was like, oh, that's interesting, whatever. But then it turned blue this morning because I checked it, and he loved the picture. Didn't message me back, whatever. And then around 10, no, maybe 9ish, close to 9, I get a good morning beautiful. Mm, do, what? I'm getting a good morning beautiful. Dude, where were you? Why you disappear on me again? Oh yeah, sorry y'all. I'm sorry. I'm leaving details out. Saturday when I can, sir, yes, sorry, excuse me. Yesterday morning, when I sent him the text stating all that stuff, I said, listen, if you got a girlfriend and you just was occupying your time, it is what it is. A lot of men do that. They just do. A lot of men do it to me, and then when this girl breaks up, then they want me again. It happens all the time. I was like, if that was the case, then cool, whatever. But he said it wasn't. He's very single, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, jump back to he did it again. He did it again. But you know what though? We're not gonna put the blame on Jay. I allowed him to do it. So at the end of the day, who can I be mad at? Not we're gonna call him Jay, but me. Again, I was at a very vulnerable state of mind, and I promise you, ladies, I will discuss it in another podcast. Okay, but right now we're gonna call him Jay. Okay, so I was in a very vulnerable, mental state when this happened. I think that's the only reason why I let his little words get to me. Because there's no other reason why. Like, I knew he was full of it. Like, I knew he was full of it. Okay, and I know there could be some people be like, girl, maybe he was telling the truth. Okay, maybe he was. But 99.99% of me feels like he wasn't. Okay? So, argue with your mama. Okay? Not with me. So I allowed him to do that. That falls on me. Especially after he did it the first time, I should have never allowed him back into my life. Like, you don't even get that privilege to even talk to me again. And me to give you my number again? Mm-mm. No. No, 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 no. Absolutely not. I know better. I knew better and I know better. So that's my venting moment. I needed to get it off my chest. I feel so much better. And I mean, hopefully you ladies can relate to something like that. If you can, I'm so sorry. Like I know it's just a horrible feeling to me it is, but I'm a sensitive person. Um, and if you're the person who does things like that to others, why? Like I would love to discuss with you and question your bitch ass. Why? Like what's the reason? Oh, anyways, that's all of my very first podcast. Again, if you can't hear me that well, am I too loud or echoing? I do truly apologize. I'm still trying to learn how to do this podcast studio, and it's a lot more complicated than I thought. And I'm me being the intelligent woman that I is. It's definitely taking me like it's just a headache. So just bear with me. Again, thank you for listening to my podcast. I will also, I'll have more information of when I'll have another one. Again, I'm just kind of toying with it. And don't forget to subscribe to my blog. I'll is sorry.